up and down the interstate. Yeah, we really touch. We touch. October, I'm about to another state. He went down in Arizona, don't get me involved. An empty box in the car means they coming for all. I had six phones, I got rid of them all. We get hit and sit down, we don't talk to the law. Yeah, they think I'm tripping, they listen. They know our every move, yeah.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, the NFL's active leader in passing yards, Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints, as they take on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building. And just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the New Orleans Saints. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They can't be any better as we hit the halfway mark. A perfect 7-0 on the year.
And when we looked at this team in August and we looked at the schedule, we thought they had the potential to get off to a hot start. But I don't think either of us expected 7-0.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory. Here we go.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his second season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did and got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama. And they like those bigger, thicker runners, those guys that can break down defenses through the middle. Alvin Kamara.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Eric Kendricks coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Now Brees on 3rd down. That's complete to Meredith. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
They go play action here on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Anthony Barr coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
On 2nd down, Kamara. He takes this from the 30 to the 34. Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
And running back Mark Ingram is coming into his own as a runner in the NFL. Over 1,000 yards each the last 2 seasons. And now he's teaming with Alvin Kamara in a backfield where both of them can run the football effectively and both of them can catch it out of the backfield as well.
Ready.
On 3rd and long, it's Brees. And Josh Hill has it. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
he wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, the big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Here's Cousins. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's right. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now a play fake here on first down. And Rudolph has it left side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. These two teams, of course, met in the much-dissected NFC divisional round game a season ago, and they also met in the Monday night opener last year. And Adrian Peterson's return to Minnesota, gosh, that seems like a lifetime ago. It was actually Peterson's replacement, though, Dalvin Cook, who went for 127 yards in a 29-19 Viking victory. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
To throw is Cousins, and he's able to find Diggs. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. The Vikings first down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. And this,
looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ken Crawley. Through an opening, and there he goes. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
And what a return. Great field position all the way out to the 48-yard line.
Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. Back to it after the pick 6. Cousins. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Well, starting drive number 2 off on the right foot. Completion for the first down. Drive 1 is they had to be pretty frustrating because they moved the football. They just didn't get any points out of it.
But warm up QB2. Let's bring in the backup. I mean, my goodness, you take them downfield and you don't score points. You know I'm being totally facetious here, right? I'm just kidding. Nice first drive. Rarely do teams score on every single drive in a game. But they like what they did there. They just hope they can pay it off this time with some points.
Throwing is Cousins. Caught on the right side by Treadwell. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Murray. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And the numbers for Latavius Murray last time out. 13 carries, 51 yards, and a touchdown.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on it. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So 1st and goal and a chance to make amends for the earlier pick 6. Cousins. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Kendall Wright, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And Charles, the defender, was there. He just didn't get it.
Sometimes these plays turn into basketball in a sense. With 2 guys going up for the football, which guy's going to box the other away from it and grab it?
Yeah, I know you hear it a lot, but it's just the will to get it, right?
Oh, without a doubt. The will as well as some really nice touch on the ball that was thrown.
And some talent, too. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And Hill with it over the middle. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Breeze now to throw. That's going to go as a loss of a full 8 yards. It sets him back for 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Breeze. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion. Kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
This is taken at the 10. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter? And continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time.
They were really good on the last drive.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now Cousins here on the bootleg. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
On first down, Murray. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Play fake. Cousins steps away. And he'll be out of bounds, able to take it down to the 40.
Holding offense.
So a decent game,
Still
all for
second
naught
down
on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a second and long after the hold. Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tyler Davison continuing to fight downfield. The big tackle gets him for a loss of 11.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly... Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Tyler Davison in there to get him for his second sack of the night. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
Ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really, the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Marching back out there, ready for the next possession. Here comes the Vikings defense. And they have been disruptive in the backfield. And how often when we see this, as we look at some of these highlights, is it just better players getting in there versus scheme that is defeating the offense?
It's a great question, and I think oftentimes we rely on scheme. We fall back and say, well, the scheme broke down, rather than giving credit to the players making plays. But when the scheme does break down, you're looking at oftentimes just being overloaded. Too many guys coming from one side or one particular area, then you can actually block them. You know, if there's two guys that'll block them, they'll bring three, and that third guy will get through. So when you want to max protect there, meaning getting everyone in, your whole offensive line, your tight end, and your running backs, trying to make sure that you're never outnumbered by the defensive guys coming in.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Cameron Meredith, the intended target. And it's 3rd and short.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. More from Minneapolis after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Cousins now, and Diggs has it. An agile move and a nice gain, then dropped at the 25-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
Hey, Steamer. Two.
Third and short yardage. Cousins. He may try and run for this. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
How many times do we hear that third down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the first down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a big-time play, putting his body on the line to pick up a key first down.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Second down, Cousins. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Carlson now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well. And they're really excited that he has no catches, but they're also worried. Because a lot of times, it's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally...
Looking for Ginn, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Anderson-Dejo. And he will bring this all the way back out to midfield.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Following the interception, Cousins. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Manti Te'o. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Savage now. His throw incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
The Saints on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Savage. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Evades him at the 20. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. A first down throw coming. Savage. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Savage drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And Lutz's kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they're still down, but they are able to salvage 3 here heading into the lockers.
This is what you work on from the beginning of training camp. Heading into the half, put some points on the board. No matter what the score says at that point, you've accomplished what you set out to do.
Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. Murray fighting, lost the football. We have hit halftimes. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. This will be taken in at the 1. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Cousins now to throw on first down. It's complete to Diggs. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Here we go.
On play action, Cousins. The left side caught by Diggs. Catch number 44 on the year. It's a first down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now a give. This is Murray. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
The Vikings on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll run here. It's Murray. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. Throwing, Cousins. And he slings one that's incomplete. Malcolm Mitchell out of the University of Georgia was the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Over the middle, he's got Treadwell. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes, when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down. To the air again. It's Cousins. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They run it again with Kamara. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Leopard! Hurry up, here we go!
From the gun, here's Savage. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10.
Rhino! Hey, Ken! What's he doing?
They start the drive with Smallwood. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. On the stop there defensively, Tyler Davison.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. And right with it here over the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. To throw is Cousins. He's got a man. It's Mitchell. And brought down, but the juke, a very nice juke, gives him the 1st down yardage there. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a 1st down for him, too.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
They run again on first down to Smallwood, and taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and start. Cousins on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's right. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Cousins able to connect with Treadwell for a Minnesota first. Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Working out of the gun, Cousins, a dump off to Smallwood, and he'll go down at the 28. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. Puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
A first down throw for Cousins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Savage. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Now, the 2 points, that's not totally critical at this point. Still a one-score game, but they do have to give away the football with no guarantees they're going to get it back.
Yeah, or at least if they get it back, will they have any time to do anything with it? So they've got to send their defense out there and say, guys, we got to have it right now. Save some time for us.
And now out comes Minnesota. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Hey, flipper. First.
Here's a former 1,000-yard rusher, Stephen Ridley. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up.
Listen.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
I know this game's winding down and people are getting tired, and that's when you really want a big body guy running the football. But I have to tell you, watching him run it, I wonder why they don't use it more earlier in the game.
Yeah, those bigger guys here late in the game, you're trying to protect the lead, usually not as fumble prone either.
No, that is so true because they are taught, take care of the ball as you surge forward, and you often see them with both hands wrapped around it when they go through the line.
First down, here's Cousins. Left side, that's caught by Mitchell. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Yellow.
From the gun, here's Cousins. It's caught by Treadwell. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Cousins to throw it. Over the middle, the catch made by Mitchell. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a play fake here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing here, Cousins, eluding the pressure right. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. They'll run at Stephen Ridley. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And the Saints signal for another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. to the ground. It's Ridley again. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And they take a knee. Time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here. This offense 2 for 2 on third downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. Third and long. They'll go ahead and take the knee here, and the unbeaten season will continue. Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? You're not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Minnesota, they continue to cruise through the...
All white, right?